Coming up, the latest on the ceasefire. Will it happen? Also, Trump says that he has a short list of 2 new Supreme Court justices. And there's a new head of the CDC. Stay with us.
Welcome to the National Rundown. I'm Jackson Hesley.
And I'm Marcella Mazzoni.
Earlier today, Trump announced a 10-day ceasefire in Lebanon that would pause fighting between Israel and Iran beginning at 5 p.m. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israeli forces will not withdraw from southern Lebanon as they preserve the truce. Trump said in a White House meeting between Israel and Lebanon could take place within the next 2 weeks, and that a deal with Tehran will come soon. The conflict with Hezbollah has been a key point in negotiations on the U.S.-Iran war. U.S. officials said troops in the Middle East are rearming and stand ready to resume fighting if Iran negotiations fail. The U.S. is maintaining a naval blockade in the Strait of Hormuz.
President Donald Trump seems to be siding with the idea of replacing Justices Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas. Trump suggested they might think about a conveniently timed retirement this year. Trump sat down with Fox Business's Maria Bartiromo and shared his respect for the justices, but he also constantly made it known publicly that he wouldn't mind if they retired, hinting that he already has a short list of possible replacements. Alito and Thomas are reaching the average age for retirement for justices, which is 80, Alito being 76 and Thomas being 77. If Democratic Party wins the election in November, Trump hopes their retirement will give him a chance to find younger replacements to cement a legacy for the Republican Party. President Trump says the war in Iran is very close to over. The comment to Fox News comes as the president indicated that a new round of negotiations between the United States and Iran could happen soon. Bradley Blackburn has the latest from New York.
With the U.S.-Iran ceasefire set to expire in less than a week, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt says there is currently no deal in place to extend it. The comment comes as a Pakistani delegation arrived in Iran to help arrange a second round of negotiations.
Discussions are being had, but nothing is official until you hear it from us here at the White House. But we feel good about the prospects of a deal.
The Trump administration is trying to increase pressure on Tehran with a military blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. Central Command posted on social media Wednesday that during the first 48 hours of the blockade, no vessels made it past U.S. forces and 9 vessels turned around.
Straits of Hormuz have not been completely reopened, so we will see, and I'm optimistic that during the summer we will see gas with a 3 in front of it sooner rather than later.
CBS News spoke with one tanker captain who has been stuck in the Persian Gulf since late February.
Sometimes it is so dangerous that in a span of 30 to 40 minutes, we have seen maybe hundreds of missiles passing over our head.
President Trump posted on social media China is, quote, very happy he is permanently opening the Strait of Hormuz, and added China has agreed not to send weapons to Iran.
President Xi assured the president that they are not supplying Iran with weapons throughout this conflict, and that assurance was made to the president. It's obviously something the administration keeps close tabs on.
Last week, President Trump threatened countries with 50% tariffs if they supplied Iran with weapons. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
When we come back, a judge puts a stop on Trump's planned White House ballroom extension.
I know you've been grinding. I know things aren't easy. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Love your mind.
We all deserve a place to call home. That's an American dream.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut, the one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
President Donald Trump is nominating Dr. Erica Schwartz to lead the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Schwartz's background includes a medical degree from Brown University, as well as a law degree from the University of Maryland. She also served in the Coast Guard as a Rear Admiral and worked 24 years in the U.S. Public Health Service Commission Corp. She also previously served as the Deputy Surgeon General for Trump's first administration, now replacing the previously ousted director, filling the vacant position for the first time since August. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas is blasting progressivism in a televised broadside, claiming the political philosophy is an existential threat to America. Thomas said that the values listed in the Declaration of Independence have, quote, fallen out of favor, end quote, with Americans. He also is claiming that these progressive values come from intellectuals and the country's colleges and universities. He went on to say that the government has been flooded with elected officials who lack understanding of the original meaning of the Constitution. Thomas closed his remark with a call to action to Americans to take on personal sacrifices in order to preserve the nation's democracy.
Construction of President Trump's planned new ballroom addition to the White House is being halted again by a federal judge. Senior U.S. District Judge Richard Leon previously halted the project last month, stating that Congress had not expressly approved the construction. The ruling comes after Trump made a bid to the judge, claiming that the work must continue on the ballroom for national security reasons. Beneath the ballroom, a presidential bunker is being constructed that will extend security on the grounds of the White House. Leon has allowed the continuation of this project and any above-ground construction related. However, the ballroom project remains paused. Police say former Virginia Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax fatally shot his wife and himself overnight. Investigators determined that the incident was a domestic dispute between the couple, where evidence revealed Fairfax had recently been served paperwork for a scheduled divorce proceeding in court. Court records also revealed that Fairfax had lost custody of his kids last month, which investigators determined could have contributed to the shooting. As of now, victims' services are assisting the son and daughter who are both in high school.
When we come back, an update on Ticketmaster and what they might owe you if you've recently attended a concert.
Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
And now what you need to know about the draft. What are the details and what's to come? Darren is here with the details. Thanks so much for joining us, Darren.
No problem. How you guys doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Our first question for you is, what is the automatic military draft?
First, we need to start off where it really started. In 1973, the last time the draft was used, we used it for the Vietnam Wars, where men 18 to 26 are automatically put into a pool to be drafted to the military to serve.
Thank you. And when and who does this affect as well?
So this, like I said, it affects men 18 to 26, and It will be in effect by December, the government is saying. This would allow them to give time to do selections, and I'm about to get into what those selections entail.
Yeah, and how does it work?
So, men 18 to 26, starting with men, you think from 18, no, it starts at men at 19, get the first come, first serve, sadly. But they get the first come, first serve, and the order is going from 19 all the way to 26, then it comes back all the way to 18 to allow the younger men to give, if they don't need the men from 18, it allows them to be exempt from the draft. But they will be evaluated mentally, physically, and emotionally to see if they can then go into service and then be selected in the draft. If not, if anybody decides to, I guess, escape or not abide by the rules, they will be subjected to a $250,000 fine and up to 10 years in prison. So.
All right, well, thank you so much, Darren.
No problem, thank you.
Thank you.
Live Nation illegally monopolized the market for tickets. The jury determined that Live Nation and its subsidiary, Ticketmaster, operated as an illegal monopoly that used their position to make it difficult for rivals to compete. The company controlled concerts, tickets, and event venues as part of its live event business.
ICE officer Gregory Donnell Morgan Jr. will be the first officer that will face charges. Morgan was charged with 2 felony counts of second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon for allegedly pointing a gun at unarmed victims in February. The charges will draw backlash from the Trump administration that has repeatedly supported the ICE officers in the past several months. In Charlotte, an American Airlines pilot had to slam on the brakes to avoid 2 trucks. Security camera video released by the Charlotte Douglas International Airport showed the plane abruptly stopped before hitting the trucks. Nobody was injured or any property damaged, and there was nothing that impacted the airport operations.
Next up, Steven will bring you the latest on entertainment news.
Thanks, Jackson. Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, has announced he will be postponing his upcoming show in southeastern France after French authorities say they would seek to ban the concert. The news comes 1 week after the United Kingdom banned Ye from entering its country due to the history of anti-Semitic remarks. Ye said on X, "I know it takes time to understand the sincerity of my commitment to make amends." Pop artist Britney Spears voluntarily checked into rehab this Sunday following a DUI arrest over 1 month ago. In March, Spears was taken into custody by California Highway Patrol officers in Southern California. Spears was pulled over on the 101 freeway for speeding. After officers assessed the situation, Spears was suspected of being impaired. Authorities have yet to release the results of the chemical tests. A representative for the singer told the public that the incident was unfortunate and completely inexcusable. Australian police have opened an investigation on singer Katy Perry after allegations from actress Ruby Rose. Rose accused Perry of sexually assaulting her in a Melbourne nightclub more than a decade ago. According to Australian law, there is no statute of limitations on reporting a sexual offense. CinemaCon, the world's largest trade show for the motion picture theater industry, wrapped up earlier this week. Steven Spielberg made his first career appearance at the event to promote his newest movie, Disclosure Day. Christopher Nolan told the audience that The Odyssey, set to premiere this summer, was an absolute nightmare, but in all the right ways. The Odyssey will be the first movie to be shot entirely in IMAX. And finally, Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro shared a moment of hostility as the trailer for Focker-in-Law screened. That will do it for me today in entertainment news. Back to you guys at the desk.
When we come back, more from our own Sam Prince and the latest on the war.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
The Justice Department is asking a federal appeals court to throw out the seditious conspiracy convictions of Proud Boys and Oath Keepers leaders. Both groups were sentenced to prison terms for leading members of far-right extremist groups in attacking the U.S. Capitol to keep President Donald Trump in office over 5 years ago. The request by the Justice Department from last Tuesday would go a step further and erase all the convictions for extremist group leaders, including Oath Keepers founder Stewart Rhodes, who didn't receive pardons last January.
The Union County Prosecutor's Office is identifying the victim of a deadly shooting at a Chick-fil-A in North Jersey last weekend as a customer of the establishment from New York City. 23-year-old Malek Shepard was pronounced dead on the scene after being shot and killed when a gunman opened fire inside the restaurant on Route 22 on Saturday night. 6 other people were wounded in this incident and were treated for non-life-threatening injuries, according to officials. As police continue searching for the gunman, the prosecutor's office is offering a $10,000 reward for any tips leading to an arrest.
The official iconic house from the show, The Brady Bunch, is opening for public tours this summer. The Brady Experience will welcome fans inside the Los Angeles home that was featured in exterior shots only in the sitcom. The home was purchased by HGTV for $3.5 million in 2018 and underwent a complete renovation to match the interior from the show. Proceeds from the tours will go towards Wags and Walks, a local nonprofit dog rescue dedicated to saving at-risk dogs and helping them find loving homes.
Now to Sam Prince and news from around the world.
President Donald Trump has announced that Israel and Lebanon have agreed on a 10-day ceasefire. This announcement has not yet been confirmed by Israel or Lebanon. This comes after Iran has insisted that strikes must stop on Lebanon for there to be any type of long-term peace between the U.S. and Israel. Gas prices in the U.S. has increased of more than 30% due to the Iran war. The national average is more than $4 per gallon, according to data from Motor Club AAA. This is the highest that gas prices have been since March of 2022. New Jersey voters are heading to the polls for a special election to vote on New Jersey's 11th congressional district to fill Governor Mikey Sherrill's seat. The 3 candidates are Democratic nominee Aaliyah Mejia, Republican nominee Joe Hathaway, and Independent nominee Alan Bond. The term will only take them to the general election in November. Back to you guys.
Coming up on sports, more on the NBA and the Stanley Cup playoffs.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
And now the roundtable, with a few takes on what's coming up at the box office.
Welcome back to the Round Table. I'm Sam Prince, and alongside me today is Steve Milczynski and Alex Cruz. And guys, the heat's warming up, and well, you know what's also warming up? The movies coming up in the spring and summertime. It's when some of those popular box office movies happen and they come out. I'm very excited for them. And Steven, let's start with you. What's the movie that you're most excited for?
I mean, talk about the heat, Sam. The Odyssey. It comes out this July, directed by Christopher Nolan, based on the epic from Homer. I mean, it's got a stacked list. Let me read this for you. Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, and Zendaya all in the cast. Well, I mean, tell me that won't be good.
Well, speaking of Tom Holland and Zendaya, my movie I'm most excited for, features both of them. But before we get to my movie, let's go to Alex. What do you got here?
Well, I'm mostly excited for Supergirl. I mean, let's face it, like Superman was a pretty good hit if you watched it. And to see Supergirl in a new perspective, where we usually see her on like, her own TV show and like video games where she's more serious, calm and collected, we have a more reckless, more adventurous. And I think that seeing that from a different angle will be pretty fun to watch.
Okay, so my movie, I kind of teased it a little with you. When you talk about The Odyssey, it's a superhero movie. I think you can guess it. Tom Holland and Zendaya are in it. It is Spider-Man: New Beginning. It's going to leave off on what? What's Peter doing without his two best friends? What are they doing without Ned now? What's he going to do? Will Ned become a villain? And now they're at MIT now. Do they know? Do you think that MJ knows that he's Superman? Because Spider-Man. Because I was thinking Superman. As you just said, but it's just like I'm excited. You guys excited for that? It's discussed a little bit. You're a Marvel guy.
I am. Just tell me about the storytelling. I mean, teeing it up. This movie should be incredible. The storytelling for the last movie just teed it up perfectly, and I'm super excited for this one to come out.
All right. I'm mostly excited because you don't really know what's going to happen. I mean, Spider-Man has so many different iterations, different timelines. So seeing where the direction can go, I think will honestly be really interesting to kind of piece together, figure it out.
Do you think he has that same relationship with MJ and Ned again? That's something more like we don't know.
We don't know at all. And I honestly think that that could be very interesting to play into, having them constantly meet each other over and over again. Just having that banter to figure out is there some type of memory there somehow, some way, or is it really just a complete wipe?
I'm honestly a little nervous. I hope it shapes out that they end up being friends again, but I honestly don't know.
Okay, so I hate to go superhero geek out on you guys, but in the comics, Ned becomes a villain.
Oh,
do you think that happens again?
I wouldn't be surprised. It'd be a nice change of pace. Add some more stakes, kind of plays into what we know with the Green Goblin and Spider-Man. So it would be nice to kind of have that dynamic back, but in a different way.
I'm not sure the Marvel franchise has really followed the comics as well to a T.
That's true.
So I'm not sure it plays out like that, but I mean, maybe they go for that this time. Maybe they go for that angle.
Well, we'll see what happens if they go for the angle or if they don't go for the angle. Well, Steven, Alex, thank you for joining us on the round table. I was Sam Prince, alongside me with Steve Melchensky and Alex Cruz. We'll send it back to you guys.
The NBA playoffs are underway. We have more on that and sports with Christina.
Thanks, guys. Here's the latest in national sports. The NBA play-in tournament is nearing completion as there is only 2 spots left in the playoffs. The Portland Trail Blazers and the Philadelphia 76ers have earned their spots and will both play on Sunday as the 7 seeds in their respective conferences, with the Suns and Warriors and the Hornets and Magic looking to claim those final spots. Moving on to the NHL, where the playoffs are set to begin Saturday, with 16 teams making it into the postseason. The regular season ends tonight, and that'll help determine the final matchups for the playoffs. One of the most notable matchups being the Flyers and Penguins this Saturday. The Battle of the Keystone State is always a heated rivalry, and I know that I'll be tuned in. Finally, over to the green, Rory McIlroy became the 4th person ever to be repeat champion at the Masters this past Sunday, the first person to repeat since Tiger Woods back in 2001 and 2002. McIlroy took home a whopping $4.5 million for the win and became only the 4th golfer in the past 40 years to hold a lead or co-lead after each round of the Masters. That's all for me. Now let's send it back to the desk.
That's all that we have for tonight's National Rundown. Thank you for joining us and have a great night.